Hey guys, how's it going? This is Flame Jockey from Team Old King Louie here to give you a deck profile. Now, a while ago, I promised you guys that I would make a deck profile of my Chaos Plant deck. So I decided, before I did that, I wanted to pimp the deck out a bit to make it look nice for you guys. So here it finally is. It's been changed up a bit. I opted in this deck not to run any Call because there's a Treeborn Frog in this deck. And I think it actually runs a lot better without it. And also, no Zephyros, I think, kind of helps a bit too. Opting over for a 3 Raikou and 2 Card Trooper for more of those mills. Also, there's only 1 Chaos Sorcerer now in this deck, so there's 2 Caius, 1 Chaos Sorcerer, 1 BLS. So before I go any further, I'll show you guys the main deck. First, we got the Plant Engine, Dandelion, Glow Up Bulb, Blown Fire Blossom, Spore. The Lone Fire may have been hit a bit, but this deck is still really good with plants, and, obviously plants are still pretty sick, and that's why I run them. Also, I'm a very big fan of plants, and I'm glad that I found a deck, once again, that works so well with it. Next up, we have the Chaos build. We have Chaos Sorcerer, BLS, and 2 Caius. The reason being for 2 Caius is because I feel a lot of the time, for some strange reason, the Normaling Caius, a lot of the time, is a much better play than Chaos Sorcerer because, he plays bottomless. Obviously, you get Caius's effect off, and, yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's actually a lot better, especially when you have things like Glow Up Bulb and, stuff like that in the graveyard. Next up, we got the Light Engine. We got 3 Raikous for those mills and for popping shit. Lila for popping back row and milling 3, and Effect Veilers. 2 Effect Veilers. 2 reasons as to why I run Effect Veilers. One, they're pretty beastly in the format. I was even thinking of running 3, but I think 2 is a pretty fair game. And also because it's a light in the grave, more fodder for my Chaos. Why not? 3 Tengu. Honestly, I don't even know why I have to tell you guys the reason to run 3 Tengu. It's pretty beastly. Not to offend anybody or anything like that, but man, Tengu just works in this deck, like, boom. Tengu already on the field. Normal Glow Up Bulb, sink for 5, get out a TG Hyper Library, and sink for 5 again, get out a Cataster, draw a card, combos and combos and combos, just for the win. 2 Card Trooper. Now, I know it seems like a lot of mill, but man, for some strange reason, I always love that mill. And I think with this deck, it works out very well because, you attack into it, okay, that's fine. I'm fine with taking the damage because I get to draw a card anyway. And then next turn, draw a card. A lot of the time, that's what gets me a lot of my good draws. Sangin for the searching. Gores, because, love it when your opponent sits down and goes, attack for game, Gores. Oh, no. Plague Spreader. Plague Spreader, for some people, might be kind of a weird choice because it gets removed from the game. But for some, Plague Spreader just always seems to help a lot with this deck. That level 2 tuner helps a lot when you're milling off. 1 Treeborn Frog. This is why I didn't run any Call of the Haunted, because for a lot of the time I want that Treeborn Frog out, because you never know when you need it for really, really crazy good synchro power, like for Trishulas. Countless times I've had Trishula summons with this thing. It's pretty sick. And a Debris Dragon. Debris Dragon I'm not completely sure on yet, but sometimes when you want that 2000 defense down as well, that helps a lot too. But a lot of the time I just kind of use this thing for getting Glow Up Bulb back out of the grave, but it does help a lot. Okay, now for the spells. 2 MST. For this format, I just opted 2 MST because this is kind of 2 MST and a Heavy Storm, in my opinion, is kind of enough back row hate anyway. So I think it really just, 2 MST. Moderation works. Staples. You know the deal. Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm book. They're really good. 2 Duality. Now, 2 Duality for some people may be a disagreeable play, but actually I think that these 2 cards bring a surprising amount of consistency to the deck. As a matter of fact, I was thinking of running 3 at one point, but 2 does work very well. Because, you have a Caius in your hand, you already have a Tengu on the field, or something like that, or something that, can't be specialed again. You just, normal summon the Caius, boom, you got yourself a nice play. Obviously, you know, Tengu, you don't want to do that. Well, what am I saying? You know, of course. Pot of Avarice. I'm pretty sad that it went down to 1, but hey, you know, sometimes when you draw into that Pot of Avarice, you love it, you know. Get the Tengu back in the deck, get all kinds of shit back, and, you know, a lot of the time it's pluses, and then a lot of the time this thing is a game winner. Mind Control. You have a lot of tuners, what can I say? Econ. You have Treeborn Frog, have a lot of tuners. 1 for 1. 1 for 1 just works really well with this deck. Spore, Glow Up Bulb, Effect Veiler, love it. Charge. You have 3 Raikou, you have a Lilo. What can I say? Mill 3, get a Raikou, a lot of pluses. Foolish Burial. Love Foolish Burial. Used to be really good with Zephyros, but now that I don't run it, it's really good for just Dandelion plays or getting stuff in the grave like lights or darks or, you know, the whole 9 yards. Okay, now for the traps. I only run 3. Torrential. Really good. Solemn. Really good. Mirror Force. Really good. These 3 traps are the bane of my defense. I was thinking of running 2 Solemn at one point, but even at that point, I was like, I don't know. I'm still in between fences. If you guys think it's a great idea and you present some reasons to me in the comments, I could probably run 2 Solemn Warning, but either way, I'm going to wait till November because, man, I don't want to spend $40. What can I say? Now for my Synchro deck. Okay. Shooting Star Dragon, because I run a Formula Synchron and I run a Stardust, so why not? Trishula, you need that Trishula. Sometimes even first turn Trishulas, as sacky as they are and as useless as they may seem, sometimes if you get the right choice on the hand, it really screws your opponent over, and it's just an all-around beast card. Colossal Fighter, great against X-Sabers, was really good against 6 Samurai until they, you know, didn't do too well. But overall, this thing is just kind of there because it's 2800 beater, and sometimes you just need that. Which is also why I run a Scrap Dragon. Also because the effect on this thing is just plain beastly anyway. I love getting this thing out. Sometimes I opted over Stardust Dragon because I'm confident that I can get the game going. Stardust Dragon, you know the deal. Staple. Ancient Fairy Dragon. Now, some people don't agree with Ancient Fairy Dragon, but I do like Ancient Fairy Dragon if I have something like a Tengu in my hand, or a Debris Dragon, or something that I just need on the field. Sure, I can't conduct my battle phase, but I could special level 1 out even, and then sync for 8 into Scrap Dragon, and then pop something. Arcanite Magician. Now, at this point, I only run 1 Chaos Sorcerer, so it's not as great as, you know, I want it to be, but nothing says sacky when you get an Arcanite Magician. You remove an opponent's card, sync for Arcanite Magician, and pop 2 things on the field. It's just massive pluses. Black Rose Dragon. This is the German, actually. This thing only cost me about, like, 13 bucks because the guy didn't really care. But, yeah, Black Rose Dragon, great for nuking the field. Great for Debris Dragon. It just works really well if the game isn't going your way. Iron Chain Dragon. Now, I'm in between fields if I want Iron Chain Dragon or if I want Gaia Knight, but I run Iron Chain Dragon because there are a lot of level 2. The 3 Raikou, sometimes you just got the 3 Raikou, you know, and you just need something, so Iron Chain Dragon. Brio, you know, staple, really good. Magical Android. Now, Magical Android because, you know, along with Catastor and TG Hyper Librarian, because I sync for a lot of 5s. There's a lot of 5 synchros in this this deck. There's a lot of opportunities for it, and it just works really well with this deck. Catastor. You know, Catastor, great against X-Sabers, great against Nats, great against 6 Samurai until they get out Shien, but not as much of a worry anymore. But yeah, Catastor, what can I say? Armory Arm. Now, a lot of plant decks run Armory Arm for, you know, obvious reasons. Sometimes you just need that 4 to progress into higher level Synchro Summoning. It's a great card. I always get it a lot, and it leads into big plays. Hyper Librarian. It's Hyper Librarian. It's a lot of people nowadays obviously don't opt for a Hyper Librarian because it's not as good because there's no 3 Formula Synchron anymore. But this deck syncs a lot. You know, the 5/5 combos I can get off with this thing is just, you know, pretty beastly. So I just love the draw power. Formula, because sometimes you need formula, of course. Okay, so now it's time for the side deck. The side deck's kind of a work in progress, guys, so it's not like an amazing side deck, because it really, a lot of this side deck stuff had a lot to do with the previous format, not really this format, but it's still an okay side deck. 2 Spirit Reaper, good against X-Sabers, good against 6 Samurai, even though they don't matter anymore, but it's really good when your opponent just completely blasts off on you and you have nothing to do about it. So, you have your answer, Spirit Reaper. 2 Malicious. 2 Malicious works really well, I think, because, you know, it's like, okay, you mill it off in the grave, remove it from play, get back a Malicious, Synchro Summon, and then you have a Dark in the grave. So it just works out for you in the end. Chimera Tech Fortress. I may run 2 of this, because I really think Karakuris are going to do really well this format, in my opinion. Because obviously a lot of back row hate means those OTKs can go off more often than, you know, than not. But there always is Dark Bride, but I just run this. 2 Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon's still a great card. I like it, you know. It's really good when you need things like a 6, and yeah, I mean, there you go. 2100 beater. It's also great for, you know, your opponent to force that bottomless on it, and yeah, it just works. Malevolent Catastrophe. Now, I like Malevolent Catastrophe a lot for this deck because since I have a Treeborn, this thing does massive back row hate, and I do like it a lot. 1 Smashing Ground. Smashing Ground just works. I think it just works really well. You know, even though Dark Bribe is, you know, is really in the format this time around. Hey, if I don't get the Smashing Ground, at least I draw a card. 2 Noblemen. Plants are gonna blast in this format, especially Chaos. So it's great for getting rid of those Raikos. It's great for getting rid of the Karakuri Soldiers. All around good card. Most especially Dark Souls. Dark Souls are amazing with this thing. An amazing hate. Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. Really good against Tengus. You know, discard a card, put it back in the main deck. Doesn't get its effect. Read the effect. Read the rulings. Compulse. Compulse is a great card. I love it. Especially against Chaos decks and the like. It just works. 1 Call, just in case, you know, I want to side out that Treeborn because it's not doing me very much good. I have 1 Call to spare. And top it all off, my Meowth tokens. This is around a time when everybody was doing Mudkip tokens with Hollow Mudkip. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go Meowth. You know why? Because he's one of my favorite Pokemon. So anyway, that's my deck. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to check out the locals we're at, Legendary Lotus. Make sure to subscribe. We'll be getting another deck profile probably later on tonight. My friends X-Sabers, Miles, the other member of Team Old King Louie. So this is I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile once again, and I'll see you guys later.